I never set out to write a book about the Big Bang Theory or really any television show. What happened was that about season 4, season 5 of the Big Bang Theory, we realized at Glamour that our readers were really, really into this show. At the time, they had introduced the characters of Amy and Bernadette, and the show really became so much more. It became a new show in the best way possible, but it even the playing fields between men and women on the show, and our readers really took to that. And they also love the storylines with Penny not knowing, if she was going to be able to be a successful actor and maybe having to be realistic and go into pharmaceutical sales or whatever it was. And we realized, like, gosh, we should really be covering this show. And I got assigned to it only because I had gotten to know these actors pretty well from all the awards season, press that they had been doing, whether it was the Emmys or the SAG Awards. I got to know them as human beings and people. And I think so much, again, goes back to being made fun of and made to feel like crap back in junior high and high school, that I always want people, when I'm with them, to feel good about themselves, because I know what it's like. I know the pain of feeling like people are whispering behind your back or they're going to have mean things to say. So it's always been so important to me that everybody be treated with kindness and you let people know that you're there for them. And I really became friendly with the cast, and it again, it had nothing to do with, I'm going to write a book one day. I better get them on my good side. This was just what I believe everybody should be treated with. And I truly believe, I don't want to sound like, oh, this is why I've been successful, but I do believe that the reason I've been given so many opportunities is because it is truly about who you are as a person. Can you be trusted? Can you show that you care about somebody? And it's such basic human behavior, but that's what people want and they crave and we need, and I certainly know what it's like to feel like nobody cares about you. So I really got to know these people as human beings, and then spending time with them on set and working with them on things. And, I'll never forget when Melissa Rauch came to me, I think it was around season 9 or 10 of the show. She had experienced a miscarriage in real life, and she also was pregnant. And she was scared about what's going to happen with this pregnancy. And she came to me saying, I'd like to write an essay about this for Glamour. Can you help? And it was so powerful that she came to me. And I took that so seriously because I knew that she was opening up in a way that made her very vulnerable. So it was really about making people feel they have a safe space with me. So all that is to say that is truly having that connection with people and not expecting anything from them is what I think set me up. Now, with that said, the book came about. And again, this has to do with truly being a good person and being kind to everybody that you meet. I got a call one day from an acquaintance friend of mine who worked at the Hollywood Reporter. And her name is Leslie Goldberg, and she is so incredibly talented, and she's a senior editor there. And this was August 2020. We didn't really talk on the phone ever. So when she called, I thought maybe she's accidentally dialing me. I don't know. And she called and we caught up for a few minutes, and she's like, so the reason that I'm calling is that I was approached by a literary agent who's interested in exploring the idea of an oral history for the Big Bang Theory. And I'll be honest, Jake, I didn't know what an oral history was. Like, I was like, what is this? Because here's another fun fact. I don't read books. Because of all the hell I had to go through in high school with books and my learning disabilities, I did not want to look at another book unless I had to. I was much more a visual learner, and that's why I love television. So I can read fast. I just won't be able to tell you what the heck I just read. So I don't read books. So I didn't know what an oral history was. I was like, wait, am I writing an encyclopedia? What is this? And she was like, because of the nature of her job, which is really that 24/7 breaking news cycle, she's like, I can't I'd have to take a sabbatical. She goes, but honestly, I think you'd be the best person to do this. And the whole time in my head, I'm thinking, what are you talking about? I don't understand what this is. Write a book? What? Everything was like, no, 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 no. And that's just me being scared. And I do that all the time. But she really came to me with this idea that an agent had, and that agent is now my agent. And once I began to wrap my head around it and understand it, and again, when they came to me about this, it was not a done deal that I was going to do it. I was very upfront saying, one, Glamour has to let me do this in my spare time because I will not give up my job. Two, I'm not going to even consider doing this unless Chuck Lorre and the producers and the cast are on board. If they are not willing to go there with me, then I'm not going to go there with them, because it wasn't worth risking the relationships that I had built up. So either they were going to do it or I was not going to do it. And then three, it had to be the book that I wanted to write. What book that was, I wasn't quite sure, but I knew that I wanted it to have a lot of heart and emotion and honesty. And that's really where it came about. And then I heard later from the actors and people like Chuck and the Steve Millaros and Steve Hollands of the world, who were showrunners on the show. They said, you were really the one person that could do it, because we had gotten to know you for so long, and we had trusted you, and we knew that you cared about us as people, and you were willing to work with us. Because I think it was TV Guide that said the stuff in the Big Bang Theory book is the kind of material that most actors save for their memoirs. And the fact that they opened up in such great detail about such personal things here was pretty remarkable. Now, I don't know if they ever want to write their own memoirs, but I attribute that, which was one of the greatest compliments, to people want to tell their stories, but you have to offer a safe space, and you have to be honest, and you have to be truthful, and you have to have, an integrity about you to do this. And that's what it all comes down to, and they knew I was not there for any ulterior motive. They knew I was there for them. They also knew that I needed them. This couldn't be a G-rated kindergarten book about, yay, the Big Bang Theory. Like, they had to tell the honest story of what it was like behind the scenes. And they did. And I'm so grateful to them for it. But it was because of those things that had been put in place from the beginning without knowing any of this would have ever happened. So that's the long answer to no, I never had any idea I would write a book or any of that.